George Hosking. I'm the Chief Executive and Research Director of Wave Trust. I'm a clinical criminologist. I was invited into A Better Start because Wave Trust has carried out a great deal of research into the root causes of long-term problems in people's lives, like mental illness, like poor physical health, poor mental health, violence, antisocial behaviour. And we found that to a very significant extent, the root causes lie in children's experiences in that period from conception to age 3. So A Better Start is constructed with 3 related components. One is about nutrition. It's about trying to prevent obesity. It's about trying to make sure that when a baby is born, it has received the right both quality and quantity of nutrition during pregnancy, because we know that that makes a huge difference to the baby's life outcome. If a mother takes too much alcohol during pregnancy, if she eats the wrong foods, if she smokes during pregnancy, there is very strong evidence that shows that that can have a significant impact on the child's health later, or the child's social and emotional development later. Breastfeeding is also a critical part of nutrition, of ensuring that baby gets off to the best start in life. World Health Organization recommends that babies are exclusively breastfed for the first 6 months. It's clear when they are, not only the baby, but the mother have much better health. It's a protection against breast cancer. Breast cancer is a terrible blight on women in middle age. I've lost count of the number of friends of mine I know who've gone down with breast cancer in the last 20 years. Yet breastfeeding is a major protection against breast cancer that women could get the benefit from at the same time as they're benefiting their child through breastfeeding. That's nutrition. Language development. We know that children who grow up with a good command of language are much more likely to form good relationships, know how to handle emotional situations, because they've got the ability to talk about what's going on for them and to communicate with others. Children who struggle with language can't do so. Now, I know from working in prison how often I've come across teenagers in prison who, quite frankly, are inarticulate. It's very hard even to understand what the words they say are just inarticulate. And their language, the vocabulary they have, is just horrendously limited. These children have not been exposed to language when they were tiny. Sticking a child in front of a television does not work. Basically, every mother who cares about a child should be spending an hour a day interacting with that child. And when I say interacting, no television, no mobile phones, talking with the baby. And it doesn't matter if it looks as though the baby doesn't understand you. At 1 million synapses and connections per second, all of that is going into the baby's brain. That's language development. And the third area, which is my field of expertise, is social and emotional development. And as I say, first 18 months is when the emotional brain, to a large extent, is being constructed. And the right experience during those 18 months, which means, again, lots of really good quality interaction between carers, parents, father, mother, grandparents, and baby. It's just wonderful what that does for the way a baby begins to understand how to engage with other people in the society in a positive way. If you give children lots of love during this period, they learn to love. If you give them lots of anger and aggression, that's what they learn. Unfortunately, the children who become the teenage violent offenders are already 10 times more aggressive by age 3 than the 1 in 3 children who are the most peaceful. And that's because during that early period in their life, they've been exposed to anger and aggression.